unbelievable. We have to watch this. Apparently, it's all coming out, boys. What's happening?
It's all coming out.
Talk to me.
Today, the Wall Street Journal not only released an article, today they're getting sued as well for this article about Donald Trump's connection to Jeffrey Epstein.
Is it true? Allegedly. Allegedly, here we go again. There's a bunch of allegeds. Things are being alleged. Again. Here we go. Do we get the truth?
It's explosive. It's about a letter Trump sent to Epstein with supposedly a drawing of a naked woman by Trump, along with a little poem which talks about a wonderful secret that
Chat's saying the story's fake. The letter seemed fake.
Jeffrey Epstein and Trump share. We will go through all the evidence because there's a lot to this. You are very silly if you jump to conclusions on a story this big with this wide of implications. Let's set...
Is this misdirection? What's happening here?
The stage, because we're going to take our time going through this. The president's behavior during the run-up to this Epstein file leak has been absolutely strange.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring.
You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there, because there's a lot of phony stuff.
You know, these files were made up by Comey. They were made up by Obama.
Even his supporters are like, well, why is he acting this way? It's so weird. All of a sudden, it goes from the files exist to they don't exist to they're a hoax, actually, and there's a bunch of phony stuff in there. This article, if true, explains a lot of the strange behavior. And we don't know if there's more that's going to come out, if this is all there is. But I'm going to go through the main allegation, and I will call it an allegation because Trump is definitely going to sue over this. He's already said as much. So here's basically the story. Supposedly, Ghislaine Maxwell collected letters from Trump and dozens of Epstein's associates for a 2003 birthday album. It was for his 50th birthday. Pages from the leather-bound album, assembled before Epstein was first arrested, are among the documents examined by the Department of Justice officials. So there are birthday letters to Epstein that supposedly have been seen by the DOJ. They have them in their files. And the one from Trump supposedly has a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy mark.
What makes me suspect of this, if Biden's DOJ had this, why didn't they use it? Isn't that weird? Or it's not from Biden, right? There was a leak from, who's reporting on this? The Wall Street Journal. So maybe somehow Biden's DOJ did not have this, allegedly what they're saying they may had or didn't have.
And the future president's signature is a squiggly Donald below her waist. The Wall Street Journal goes on to say it's not clear how the letter with Trump's signature was prepared. Inside the outline of the naked woman was a typewritten note styled as an imaginary conversation between Trump and Epstein. Voiceover. There's more to life than having everything. Donald. Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey. Nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Yes, we do, come to think of it. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that?
What the fuck? This conversation is definitely weird.
As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. And the final line is, a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful
Yeah, it's fake and gay. It
secret.
Looks super
Obviously, that is an insane thing to write to what later would be found out to be one of the world's most prolific. But there's also two lines in there which are horrendous. One, enigmas never age. That's just a strange line. It's a very incriminating sounding line. We don't know what it means exactly. And then also we see, may every day be another wonderful secret. Of course, this all written inside the outline of a naked woman kind of tells you what secret they may be talking about there. Now we're going to go over Trump's response. And then, of course, all the evidence, all the denials, what you may want to know before making up your mind. Like I said, this is not a story where you're going to want to snap to judgment. Even now, I think there's still a lot we need to see. But I want to go over Trump's response. He gave an interview with the Journal on Tuesday evening, and he denied writing the letter or drawing the picture. Quote, this is not me. This is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street Journal story. I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of.
This is so weird. This came out at a strange time where he's running cover for somebody that doesn't want to be revealed on that list. Clearly implicated. Trump, or I should say Elon, said as much, along with other people in the leaked flight logs and a bunch of other, information.
Carl sent $5. We know you and your wife plan to build an army and repopulate the earth. How will you raise kids? Off-grid and homeschool or iPad kids in the city?
Off-grid and homeschool, of course. My kids are not going to no fucking public school over my dead body. They will be taught with AI. Their brains will be augmented. You have a perfect AI teacher who can teach them advanced topics and cater to their intelligence and actually bring up their weaknesses and make sure that they advance in the things that they're gifted in. Please, by the time they're ready to go into schooling, this shit's going to be so far advanced, fucking woke teachers are done with. Public schooling will pretty much be done with. Yeah, education's going to get revolutionized.
Women, he said, it's not my language, it's not my words. He told the Journal he was preparing to file a lawsuit if it published the article. I'm going to sue the Wall Street Journal just like I sued everyone else. What do we make of this? Before we jump into the evidence, before we jump into all the reactions, both public and of the people involved, let's just talk about what this could mean. The denial puts Trump in a very particular position. Because if it later comes out and turns out to be true, it's worth saying the Wall Street Journal did not publish a photo of the letter, which everyone's been asking for. There are a lot of reasons not to publish it. Maybe your source didn't allow it, but that's a huge part that could come out that changes the whole landscape of this, right? If it comes out, it's very devastating because you wouldn't lie about something like this if you thought it was no big deal, right? The denial actually implies a lot of bad things about what the letter could mean. If you weren't worried about a story like this, if you thought the letter was nothing, you wouldn't deny it. You would just give no comment. You certainly wouldn't give an interview. So now we're going to talk about the reactions of the people involved, because it's worth saying Trump is not the only letter mentioned in here. And I think that's really important because in a story like this, Allen, a former lawyer for Epstein, does not deny this. He says, it's been a long time, and I don't recall the content of what I may have written. Lex Wexner also supposedly had a letter in there. He declined to comment. Supposedly his letter was, I wanted to get you what you want, so here it is. After the text was a line drawing of what appeared to be a woman's breast. And then we have a former assistant who was not cited.
Man, this is weird. Okay, now this shit's getting really weird.
Who sent Jeffrey a letter. Oh, Jeffrey of Jeffrey, everyone loves you. Fun in the sun, fun just for fun. Pretty innocuous. And then, of course, we have Donald Trump, who denies, of course, the whole thing. So we have some non-denials, some people who just didn't respond. And then we have Trump. Trump's the only one who's firmly denying this letter so far, with him doubling down on Truth Social, saying, it's not my words, it's not the way I talk. Also, I don't draw pictures. I told Rupert Murdoch it was a scam and he shouldn't print this fake story, but he did, and now I'm going to sue him in his third-rate newspaper. Now, a couple comments quick on that. One, the Wall Street Journal is not a third-rate newspaper. It's also not a super left-leaning newspaper. Not that that's kind of not true. So in a book called Never Give Up, Trump wrote, each year I donate an autographed doodle to the Doodle for Hunger auction at Tavern on the Green. It's a great event. And sure enough, publicly you can find several
Oh, shit. What?
doodles that Donald Trump has done. Most of these are of skylines, architecture. None of these are of women. Still, it's strange to say I don't draw pictures when you very clearly draw pictures and they appear to be in thick marker, which is what you were accused of drawing them in.
Oh, shit.
Bruh.
Now it's getting weird. Noticing is very dangerous. Pattern recognition is dangerous. This is getting fucking weird.
Now, none of that means anything, but it just reminds me a little bit of the Prince Andrew denial. I don't know if you guys remember the sweat denial. A big part of the interview with Prince Andrew was the denial that he couldn't have done anything bad because he couldn't sweat. So this supposedly falsified Virginia Giuffre's whole story.
I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time.
So yeah, that was kind of this claim like, hey, this couldn't be true because I don't do X, but actually we see that Prince Andrew actually does sweat. And in the same way, it's not perfect proof, but you really shouldn't say you don't draw pictures when being accused of drawing thick black marker pictures when you definitely draw pictures sometimes.
Phew.
Ivy Intia sent $4.99. Hey Bo, hope today's going good. Here's a 5 for the you noticed bucket. Also, what is bro's smile in that picture holy?
Yeah, that's that creeper smile. The I do weird shit in my spare time smile. Thanks, bro.
I mean, it's just, and it's public. I mean, that's just kind of just an obvious, devastating hole in your whole argument. Now, again, I've got to say, this is just the basics. We do not have the letter, okay? I'm relying on the Wall Street Journal's reporting on this, and we're corroborating with different pieces of public evidence. Ultimately, we need to see if this was actually in the Epstein files. But there are some other stuff, too, that we can look to corroborate this story. So we can look at the bookbinder. So in the Wall Street Journal report, we see a very specific and interesting
God, he went so in depth on this.
Corroboration. It says the book was put together by the New York City bookbinder Herbert Weitz, according to people involved with the process. Weitz listed Epstein as a client on his website in 2003. So here we have a chance to corroborate externally. Of course, it's not a full corroboration, but we have a chance to look to see, was it actually on his website? So if we go to the archive, we see in 2003 at weitzcoleman.com, we see a client list, and we see Jeffrey Epstein is listed on it with a different spelling of Jeffrey, I should note. And this says people for whom we have bound up books and albums. This is another piece of circumstantial evidence that makes it hard to believe it's just fully made up. Now, you can believe something in the middle. You can believe that the letter exists, birthday letter that's supposedly from 2003. This is like the Steele dossier that kickstarted the Russia hoax all over again. The Wall Street Journal refused to show us the letter and conceded they don't even have it in their possession when we asked them to verify the alleged document they're basing their entire fake story on. Then you have Dan Wolkin saying the amount of people who think publications, the scope of the Wall Street Journal, just put explosive stuff out about a public figure without well-established authentication procedures and running it through a team of lawyers know literally nothing about journalism. Charlie Kirk says this is not how Trump talks at all. The Wall Street Journal should be ashamed of publishing it. Where's the letter? Would you be shocked to learn they never showed it to us before publishing it? Does anyone honestly believe this sounds like Donald Trump? Of course, then you have a response to that where somebody says, Carson's an enigma to me. This is clearly debunking the idea that the word enigma is not in Trump's vocabulary.
Well, now, Carson's an enigma to me.
So that clearly debunks the idea that he couldn't have written this because enigma wasn't in one of the doodles that Trump has. And you also have the fact, I have asked AG Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. This scam should end right now. And Pam Bondi has said,
yeah, he has to get out and in front of this right away. He took heat from all sides, not just the woke left, but the right. I mean, he's getting eaten alive by MAGA. He's getting eaten alive by all his most ardent supporters. It's making his administration look bad. Bongino looks like he looks like terrorists have taken over and he's hostage. Patel is just giving fucking corporate answers to everything. The FBI has investigated and we found nothing. Case closed, Johnson. And, Pam Bondi is talking about, I got the list. I got the fucking list while doing 20 million Fox interviews. And then months later, by the way, there's no list. Just told you, we got hundreds of victims, 200 victims. You remember that shit? But then the list doesn't exist. So what's Maxwell in prison for? Why'd Epstein even have to off himself or whatever? Allegedly. There's also a picture, allegedly, of some lookalike somewhere. Alleged location. All right? Fucking hell. There are powerful people on that list, far beyond our comprehension. It's not a surprise it didn't come out. It's still just shocking at how brazen it could be, though. That's what's the most surprising about all this, honestly. The fact that it's so out in the open, the proof is unmistakable, corroborations, all the victims that were paid out hundreds of millions of dollars, I think, at least tens of millions. There was victims that signed NDAs. That's what's crazy. So what did those victims pay for if there were no victims? That's what's wild.
Carl sent $5. USA dumps human sewage fertilizer on conventional crops that has 80,000 chemicals. Organic food bans this. You only eat organic food back in America?
I don't know about that one, but okay. Vinti said, our defense really got to it. Didn't sound like him. Yeah. I don't know, man. The only way you could possibly explain this at all is if someone has something on you. This behavior makes no logical sense. How the administration possibly 180s their position. And then when you're probed and asked about it, you deny and you go, just move on, bro. Is everybody still talking about this guy? That's just so fucking weird. You ran on releasing the list. You ran on this, one of your things, declassifying files, the list. We're going to give everyone the list. We're going to know what JFK, what happened to JFK, MLK, and the Epstein file. Nothing. We got nothing. This doesn't add up properly. The only way this can happen is if somebody's got some real heavy shit on you, or a lot of other people in the government. Carl said, because Trump and his buddies are on the list. Allegedly, we don't know.
President Trump, we are ready to move in the court tomorrow to unseal the grand jury transcripts. I think that ultimately it needs to be everything or nothing. You can't give a little bit at this point. With the level...
Man, why are they talking on X? Is this not cringe as fuck? Based on the ridiculous amount of publicity, he's asked Attorney General Penn, and then respond, Trump, we're ready to move the court tomorrow. All of a sudden, boss gave you a go-ahead and you can have shit unsealed tomorrow? So what have you been doing for 6 months? Isn't that fucking weird? 6 months in the clown show. They're all dancing around the problem. We have official statements on X, no unsealed documents. How do you square that one?
It's to be everything or nothing. You can't give a little bit at this point. With the level of allegations being leveled against our president, that he would send pretty incriminating letters to the world's most notorious file. Now, again...
You know what's also crazy about this blackmail shit? If hypothetical, allegedly, let's just say it's alleged. It's a hypothetical, right? This is an exercise. If somebody has something on you, like one of the most devastating things you can do to keep people in line or make sure that they're caught up in the web is to breadcrumb the release of devastating information. You never data dump everything, all the proof. You don't dump everything because people are like goldfish in a sense. So what you do is you give them a little nibble here. And then it's talked about for a week or two. And then as it starts to die down in the consciousness, you drop another breadcrumb, another breadcrumb. Hey, bro, you're acting up kind of funny. You remember, boom, this breadcrumb I just dropped. Now you gotta deal with this problem. Listen, we got way more of this stuff, so better get in line. There's another breadcrumb. Your life will never be the same again. We're just going to keep dropping this information until you do what the fuck we say as we say. But my base. But this is not like me. But I'll have to defend this. It seems contradictory. The hypocrisy. I don't. Drip. Here's another one. Drip. There's another one. My base, I'm losing. My legacy is being destroyed. Drop another crumb. How else could you explain this? This is like, you cannot explain this any other way. This is irrational behavior. Trump bows down to the deep state, hiding pets. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Before he was arrested the first time, right? But given the letter's contents, given that they're doing so much, they're going to be suing the Wall Street Journal over this, to deny it, I think if it turns out to be true.
Interesting. So I ask, ladies and gentlemen, which outcome needs the least amount of assumptions to be true? The most obvious conclusion is that every single influential person ever is implicated. Oh, wow. Donald's progression on the files has honestly been amazing. They have the files. They're all in the files. They are suppressing the files. We are going to force them to release the files. Just elect me. You elected me and I have the files. Here they come. The files are coming in full. We don't what is it? We don't want to re-victimize the girls, so we're removing a little. We are actually removing a lot where there's no crimes. There are no files. Why do you still care about the files? Are you really still bringing up the files when X, Y, and Z are happening? The Democrats actually made up the files and we're suing them. Fuck, bro. This is great. This is great. That is an accurate timeline. Our glorious president can't draw or write and can barely even read or speak. Therefore, it couldn't have been him. I don't sweat. I don't draw pictures. The comment section roasting is tremendous. I love this. I ain't never wrote no picture in my life, sir. I don't even know what's an enigma. Oh, no. Prince Andrew paid £12 million to Virginia while also claiming he had never met her. Oh, that's a good point. Future generations are going to look back on this and wonder how the fuck it took so long for people to notice. I swear his reactions to Epstein-related evidence are far more telling than the actual evidence itself. It's like a toddler being asked if they took a cookie and responding with, I would never take a cookie. I don't even like cookies. Why are you talking about cookies? It's gone anyway. Fuck.
Hillbilly Enthasia sent $5. Bill and Hillary Clinton been to the island as well. She lesbian.
Thanks, Hillbilly. Okay. Allegedly. You must add allegedly. Okay. Why are the ultra rich so fucking weird? That's a great question. It's funny how Charlie Slurp, who glazes Trump all day long, is claiming that Trump is too dumb or uneducated to know the word enigma. Fucking shit. They're running cover so hard. Listen, with all these conservative pundits, they've revealed themselves to be absolute, what could you say, bootlickers. And that's putting it nicely. I'm being kind here. You now know exactly who's bootlicking. I hope you watch. I hope you see all the conservative pundits that you follow, all the slurpers, who they are. They've revealed themselves and literally saying anything defending peds. Yep, incredible. Yeah, I love this quote. It's the best quote ever. The party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command. Wow. All right, boys.
Isaac sent $10. Our government truly thinks the general populace thinks we are that retarded so as to buy this BS excuse. I wouldn't say it's incompetence, I'd argue that it's hubris.
No, we are that retarded. We are actually. Straight up. Be honest, bro. Be honest. We have goldfish memories. We care about our breads and circuses. You know, the NFL, the NBA. Who gives a fuck what's happening in politics? What's going on in the world? Do you know what actually matters? That I buy the latest pair of Nikes, the latest Call of Duty, whatever other bullshit.
Hillbilly Enthasia sent $5.
What it is.
Bill Gates has met and been to his island why his wife left him.
Yeah, his wife didn't like that and told him stop meeting these fucking slurpers, bro. These diddlers, these demons. And he said, fuck that. You know who I am, bitch? My name's fucking Bill Gates. I got money to buy adrenochrome left and right. I'm living forever. Just kidding. We can't go that deep. Calm down. Calm down. This is all alleged. Jesus Christ. They're just gooning on the island. Nothing happened. There are no victims. Duh. Our government told us. The DOJ, right? The FBI. Duh. There's no list, you fucking morons. Are you dumb? What are you even talking about? The dude just offed himself. It was simple. He got sick of life, bro. Being a billionaire, it must have been, God, he had everything he ever wanted. Boring. Boring. He couldn't take it anymore. Totally. Yeah. Nothing happens. Nothing ever happens, apparently. Yeah, free my main Epstein. Take him out of, what is that? Witness protection, man. I heard he got swapped out. There's body doubles. Crazy shit's happening. What's going on here? I don't know what to trust. What do I believe? The fucking official evidence got edited 4 fucking separate times in Premiere Pro. I don't know shit. I don't know nothing. Leave me alone. There was no list. I agree with the FBI 100%. Totally. That's all I got to say on this topic.
Jaleel Junkin sent $4.99. Do you think we'll get a one-in-a-century man to rally behind and handle the situation?
I don't know if we can birth those kinds of people anymore. Not with social media. Maybe. We need one? I don't think we're going to.
Fresh Media sent $4.99. Don't worry, I trust my friends in government to solve everything and the Goon Queen will protect me.
Oh, totally. Good job, bro. Yeah. My friends in the government will fix all our problems. Totally. My friends in the government. My friends. They got our best interests at heart. Once in a century man, you say? No, bro. We're about to be enslaved by AI. Once in a century, man. Our time's up. We fucked up. We need to go back in time and restart the timeline. We're done with.